Oh, hey everyone. Happy Thursday. It is Thursday, right? Yeah. Man, this week has blown the fuck by. I hope everyone had an amazing Thanksgiving and you're all well rested and ready for Christmas. I am not. I have all the decorating done, all the cooking planned, but I haven't done all the shopping stuff yet. I hate that part. I am not the kind of chick who enjoys shopping. I don't like it. I don't like the crowds of rude ass icky people. I don't like just just the whole experience from beginning to end. I don't like having to shell out a bunch of money, you know. I consider myself to be pretty thrifty when it comes to that. But yeah, we're going to make the best of it though, right? Let me say hello. It is a glorious day outside. Do the wind chimes bother anyone? If they do, tough cookie. Because I'm sitting outside soaking up this vitamin D. It has been so cold for the last couple of weeks, and today it is 69 degrees. Hello, Abe. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Abe was first. He was very diligent. We are going to pop a bottle for him. Hello, Tog, Kaz, and Pablo. Hello, Jess. Happy Jewish Day. Amy, Carrie, Spicy, Graham, Lickety, Libby, Navy Mom. Hello. Hello, BGE. Mark, hello. I don't know who that was. Oh, hello, John Wiki. Oh, it has been Cat sneaking in. Hello. It has been an eventful time around here, hasn't it? So much has happened. But the good thing is the universe is at work, right? Like everything falls into place as it should. As much as we pathetic little humans think that we're in control, yeah, we're not. We can control our actions. We can control our choices and the paths that we choose, but in the long run, it's not up to us. No matter how we act on this earth, we all have one thing in common, and that is the end. We are all facing the same end. So, as this year is wrapping up, it got me thinking. I like to think and use my noggin and reflect, and I have a very analytical mind. So, and actually, it's to the point of being detrimental sometimes, because I am a classic overthinker. I wear that shit proudly. It's who I am. There's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. But, at the end of every year, I have a tendency to look back on things that I have accomplished, areas that I need to improve on, my goals and hopes for the upcoming year. In fact, I do this whole little ritual, 13 wishes. And for the last 13 days of December, you take a little piece of paper and you write something you want for the next year. It could be anything. It could be to make more money. It could be to start a new relationship, end a bad relationship, be a better friend. It could just be anything that you want in your life for the upcoming year. Hey, Truth Hurts. Hey, Murder. So every day you write them all on little strips of paper, you put them in a little jar. Then every day you pull one out and you basically work on manifesting that shit. You read it, you think about it, You kind of process it, come up with a mental plan of how you want to accomplish that. You burn it and you send it into the universe. So it's a good way to like really take a good look at your life and see where you're lacking, where you need to be. I think that what we are seeing play out with a lot of the characters running around here, like 2025 is the year of the snake. Well, that's coming to an end. So, what happens at the end of the cycle for a snake? Class, what happens to a snake skin? You guys are going to hear me drink. Yep, it sheds. The old skin is not needed anymore. It serves no purpose. It is janky and broke down. It sheds it. So, if you're looking at it like from the aspect of the zodiac and what everything means, 2025 is the year that we're going to shed all the shit that doesn't serve us anymore. You're going to start seeing things for what they are. All the little hidden truths are going to come to light. And you're basically going to have to make some decisions and decide what is or isn't a positive in your life. And you got to get rid of it. So 2026 being the year of the horse, you think, it's going to charge forward, stamina, it's all going to be gravy. And it can be if you put in the work. But what work are you going to know to put in if you're not evaluating yourself? So never fear. Because when I go quiet and I'm just sitting back and chilling and observing, hanging out in chats and doing all that shit, I'm observing for you. And I know that's easy for me, right? To sit here and point out someone else's flaws, but you damn well better believe that I am perfectly aware of exactly how flawed I am. None of us are perfect, cupcakes. None of us. A lot of you think you're perfect and can do no wrong and are just winning at life. And maybe in some ways you are. I don't fucking know. Nor do I fucking care. What you do away from this platform is of none of my concern. So, as this year wraps up, we're seeing all these little factions within the faction. All the cracks are showing. People are pissed at each other. They are snitching on each other, laying it all out there. You got people fighting. It is a fucking glorious, comically great time. But man, you people are cutthroat with some of this shit. You really are. So we have new groups that are like coming in, characters that have been brought to the narrative through other situations that have happened, right? Like we all know about the dark web situation. We're not going to really get into it. That is, yeah, that's fine. That's being taken care of. But you see people like Haley come in. And I was in Tiger Chat with Haley for a little while, and I didn't ever really talk to her one-on-one, not much at all. I can tell you this, though. The way you see that chick short circuit on a panel is exactly what she was doing in that chat. That girl would get to posting, and my notifications would just be bing, 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 one after another, like these paragraph-ass long comments. Girl, don't nobody know what you're talking about. We don't even know you yet. Don't even know you. But she's laying it all out there. And I get it. I get it. She was feeling herself, I guess you could say. But it's a lot. It's a lot when you have someone you don't even know just throwing all that shit at you. So I can't help but wonder why you people want to dive head first into all this shit. How do you have time for it? And yesterday, I could have gone live yesterday, but I'm not going to lie. I had to postpone it because I had to see the dumpster fire that was going to consume everything yesterday. And there were some excellent points made. I don't know Kaylee at all. I do not like the stuff that she did against my friend. I thought it was unnecessary. She was not involved in anything. I am a very you take your issue with someone up with that person. Like we're not all just we don't get the consolation prize because we're friends with someone that you have an issue with. That's just silly shit. So yesterday she said something like she's very open, basically my advice if you're going to talk to Kaylee is don't say anything that you don't want repeated because she's honest about that. I got to give her credit. She will tell you flat out, I'm not here to make friends. And if you tell me something, chances are good I'm going to tell everyone, especially if I'm backed into a corner. That's kind of sums her up in a nutshell as far as I'm concerned. But she made some good points yesterday. And I was listening to her talk to Mama T, and Mama T, you need to simmer the fuck down, girl, because I don't care how big and bad you think you are. Like, why are you daring someone to put extra stress on your life? Because it will. It's going to affect you. It would affect anyone. Like, no one wants to deal with that in any capacity, whether it's a pizza, a door knock, or something worse. No one wants to deal with it. And no one should have to. But Mama T is just like, oh, your fire's not big enough. Here, let me let you borrow a gas can. And it was just so nonsensical. And I heard someone mention, they were like, her chat was getting pissed at Kaylee saying, why are you talking about this? This was like 4 or 5 months ago. Ugh, do you not listen to yourselves? Do you not? Because the people who were saying, why are you talking about something from 4 or 5 months ago, are the very same people who will be sitting in chats talking about, let's say, oh, I don't know, Nicolina and stuff she did 3 or 4 years ago. How about this? How about when 2025 ends, let's try to tempt fate here. We all like to press the boundaries. So for shits and giggles, why don't we all try to leave all of that shit that everyone keeps bitching about in 2025? Do you realize how much space you would be freeing up in your own soul if you just let all that shit go? Why are you, the big winning badasses, carrying around all this baggage that doesn't matter? We've established who you do and don't like, right? That's already been established. So how come every time one of you fools go live, it has to be a pissing contest? You have to piss on your territory. I've had a few people, and we touched on this last time I went live, but I think I'm going to get a little more in depth and answer the question of why. Why did I walk away from somewhere? Well, I wouldn't exactly say that I walked away. I was told to leave. I understand that it was a quote unquote a sting, but, and what I'm about to say is on the basis of this person says I would expect my friend to tell me when I'm wrong. Okay, in that respect, in that situation, you were wrong because I was also a huge target of that person that you just so nonchalantly had on panel, you knew that. You didn't let me know ahead of time what was up. It doesn't matter if you let someone else know and you just expected them to relay the message. As a friend or someone you're friendly with, it is my opinion that you should have reached out to me directly and told me. Instead of everyone just, we're all just supposed to read your mind when it comes out of nowhere on like a Monday morning and be okay with it. And then when nobody catches on and people are getting kind of pissed, you call us all idiots and tell us how stupid we are and that our channels are never going to go anywhere and all that, like all that just silly shit. But I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad. I'm not mad that you took my wrench or anything like that. Even though I was a damn good mod, I never abused my wrench. But, that's just, none of that shit really matters in the long run. In the long run, right? I don't know about anyone else, but when I log off, I don't take YouTube to bed with me. I try to avoid falling asleep listening to any of this chaos because, damn, it's giving me nightmares. But I have to have that time to, like, decompress. I'm not trying to sleep with all you peepers. Then we had another situation where someone that, like, I had mucho respect for, like, feelings. I think people are really getting pushed to the point of being aggravated with situations, and I think all of us could do better as far as how we demonstrate those feelings, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like how we react. I really try to avoid being super reactionary because I used to be that way. When I first started my channel, I was a hot ass mess. I would flip out like a rabid cat at the drop of a hat. I was a total rook. Benny Keys used to burn my ass up, but I hung in there. I fought back. But man, you people, Haley, ma'am, it is so messed up of you to disrespect that man the way you did. And I know you're probably wondering, well, how did I disrespect him? I didn't disrespect him. I'm the girl from the dirty South. No, bitch. He took the time to get up there not once, not twice, but like 3 or 4 times, maybe even more, to talk sense into you, to give you honest wisdom by someone who is going through it. Hey, Libs. Hey, Tiny T. Like, he's been through it. He's going through it. And by him sitting there talking to you like that, ma'am, that was helping him in his recovery journey, too. It wasn't all about you. I am not one to believe in coincidence, right? I am the firm believer that there is a reason and a purpose for everything. I believe that people don't come into your life by accident. And if someone does just happen to slip through the cracks, because they're in tow with someone else you are supposed to cross paths with, then don't be so egotistical to think that you can't learn something from them. I think that there are lessons to be learned in everything, in every situation, in every person you meet. But damn, these days, nobody takes the time to get to know people. Very surface level. And I know everyone says, well, it's the internet. I'm not saying go deep and, share your whole novel of a life with someone. But you have to be willing to get over yourselves long enough, me included, to take a little more time to think a situation through. Don't be so hasty all the time because, Haley, you gave me whiplash. And for what? Because people were telling you that you look like a fool or calling you a drug addict and this and that. Those are all true things. Those are true statements. You were looking like a fool, and I'm going to explain to you how. You were looking like a fool because you could not make up your mind from 1 minute to the next. At 8 o'clock in the morning, you're making community posts apologizing and talking about how you're going to stay away from the drama and blah, blah, blah. And then by 10 a.m., you're on the panel with the dude who shared your nudie pics around. Then he sat there and talked to you and gave you the most amazing, helpful advice. He hooked you up with a link for some online meetings. Have you gone to one yet? Dirty South? I'd like to know because I know that you didn't get off of YouTube in any hellfire hurry that night to go search around. No. You sat up on that panel with those people who did you so wrong, right? You used to cry about that. They did you so wrong. And we saw the messages. That's it, girl. That's it. Have a little more dignity than that. But you sat on a panel with those people and they literally, we were watching you in a watch party. And I literally told people in the watch party, I said, you watch, they're trying to undo everything that was just done. And sure shit, bam, bam, bam. They just started hitting her with all these things, all these negative things, telling her, "Oh, they're just trying to do this to you, and they're just trying to break you down so they can do that." And no, maybe if it would have been one of us, what do you call us? What the fuck do you call us, girl? You don't call us mean girls. You call us something else. I don't fucking know. But if it was one of us up there talking to you, then I would probably say, yeah, they're probably right. We're gonna mess with you a little bit. But that man doesn't know you. He does not know you at all. He knows you as this skitzed out chick on YouTube who is struggling with addiction. And he took his time to talk to you, and you basically shit on it. So, fuck you for that, ma'am. Let's see. Oh, and this whole I don't ever want to hear selective anything from anyone anymore because you all are just as selective too. You you have selective hearing, selective outrage, selective lying syndrome. It's nuts. It is nuts. You all want to sit here, Mama T, the best researcher in town, her words, didn't even realize that the proof had been shown multiple times of those DMs of Katie's about all of that 007 stuff. Multiple times, Mama T. It's been shown. And don't sit there and say that you research because you don't. Your chat might look stuff up or send you clips or mention things. No, ma'am. Mm-mm. And this whole I'm going to find the videos and post it, that's never going to happen. It never does. And I don't know why you are trying to fight this fight. It doesn't matter if you think that you can outsmart someone or you live in a stand your ground state. None of that matters, ma'am. You're sitting there saying, I have a family, I have a family. At some point, okay, and I am not in any way condoning people that send people to other people's house because they don't like them. Like, I don't get down with that shit. Do you hear me? People who think that I was stalking you when someone drove down your street, listen up. I don't condone it. It's wrong. Nobody should be sending anyone to anyone's house. But at some point, we have to take the responsibility, right? Like, if you know that you're dealing with someone who's not afraid to send someone to your house, do you not feel obligated to say, okay, maybe this isn't the time for me to pretend to be a total badass and I should just keep my mouth shut? Everyone just thinks that they have something to prove, though. What is the big deal if you lose a debate on YouTube? Like, were you people never told no as a child? Did you never come in second place? Do you know that it's okay to make mistakes and not be the best at everything? Because when you're in that position, you're open to learning, right? If you want to improve, that means you're open to learning. So don't be afraid to make a mistake. Don't be afraid to get something wrong. Don't be afraid to say when you're wrong. And damn, don't be afraid to apologize. That shitty situation that I told you, well, I didn't really tell you shit, did I? I mentioned it, but yeah, I'm not going to go into detail about the person that I had a lot of respect for. Apologies happened and that shit's done and over with now. You see how that works? You see how that shit works? You can still have your fun and fuck up every once in a while, but you know what? Sometimes when you go too far, you just have to accept it. And these are all my personal opinions, right? Based on things that I observe from the bushes. Nobody has to agree with me. I'm just babbling. But it's fun. So Haley wants to build up her new channel. It's like a voodoo slut Nola or something like that. I don't know. It's a voodoo something. Child is a voodoo child. Nola. So guys, go sub up to her. Go sub up to her. She only got like 50 something subs. She needs to, I don't know how she was going live. What the fuck? But she privates everything. And I heard that, yes, she's band evading ATIL. OATIL. Remove yourself from Officer Brandon's green smoke cloud. And I'm going to need you to get on the ball and handle that band evader Haley. She is a crater from the gutter side of YouTube. Yeah, Voodoo Child Nola. She like makes me cringe when she starts talking about like the dirty South. It's embarrassing. We're not all bred like her, okay? We're not. Let's see. What was I even talking about? I smoked before I went live. Hmm. Oh, the other day during Nick's live, she mentioned a project that we are going to be collaborating on. I'm going to tell you guys a little teensy bit about it. I'm going to give you little hints between now and the time we actually do the live. But we're going to end the year with it. There is a show on Netflix called The 8 Show. If you have not watched it, I want you to watch it before we go live. because it will have something to do with the topic. Hey, Todd. So it has to do with the calendars and how the 1926 calendar is the exact same one as 1946 is the exact same one as 2026. Like the days match up perfectly. So the theory is that a lot of the same events that happened back then could repeat themselves in the upcoming year, which is pretty scary if you think about it. But, as I sit and I listen to all of us bicker and argue over all this crap that goes on, it makes me wonder, do any of you like keep up with what's going on in the world? Because I got to tell you, the world is like going to shit really fast. It's right on schedule. I don't know exactly what that schedule is. Nobody knows, but it's happening just as the story said it would. By story, I mean Bible. I know that we are all of different religions, beliefs, and practices, but although although I am not dead set on organized religion, I definitely believe in God. I believe in a higher power. I believe that we are all bestowed gifts. And that just would bring us into a whole nother topic that really we should do a whole nother live about. So I'm not going to go there. But yeah, just know that the Bible says the end is coming and it's unfolding right before our very eyes. So if nothing else, if for no other reason, why wouldn't people be willing to take a step back and reevaluate themselves, give themselves a glow up for the new YouTube year? What makes it so difficult for people to do that? I know for me personally, it's a comfort thing. You guys hear my dog? Judah. It's a comfort thing for me. Although I'm a people person, once you get to know me, I'm a very hard person to get to know. Super easy to get along with once I let you in. But I'm very shy. Um, I don't open up to people easily. So I think that is one reason, I kind of like stick to what I know. I'm friendly with everyone. I can get along with anyone, whether you like me or not. I'm not like so full of myself that I can't say hi to someone. Jeez. But that's one of the reasons why I feel like there's like 9 billion personalities on this platform. So naturally, they're going to clash. But I mean, let's be honest with ourselves, right? We've all been acting immature as fuck lately. Now, that's not to say that all the serious things that have been done to people, like jobs taken away, um, family members called, embarrassing shit just thrown in people's faces, like all that dirty shit, I get it. I understand why people are pissed. So if I can understand why people might react when all of a sudden, you got people running around saying shit in chats. There's one, the Queen of Chaos, who is notorious for it. But you people are dirty. All that shit, that's one thing I can say I've never done. I have never written or said some of the shit that I've seen over the past few days. And we all know what I'm talking about. So I don't even have to mention it. So what are we going to do about it? Are we all going to stay in our little cults of personality, or are we going to break off? Because from what I see a lot of people that say, I don't gatekeep. You can go wherever you want. Damn, don't be afraid. Call their bluff and go wherever you want. Get along with whoever you want to get along with. There have been people who have been coming in chats recently that I haven't talked to in months, maybe even over a year. But it's been nice having them around. Like, even if it's not someone who cares for me, like, we're able to coexist in a chat, and I don't feel compelled to cuss everyone out just because they don't like me. Remember, there are lessons to be learned in everything. If you're just icing people out because your other friend, who maybe you consider to be the better friend, doesn't like that person, why are you going to throw yourself in front of the firing squad when it's blatantly obvious that she wouldn't do that for you, Mama T? Where was she last night? She wasn't in your chat. You said it yourself. You don't talk outside of YouTube. And that's fine. Not everybody has to talk outside of YouTube. But you are willing to put this family in harm's way to protect her when she's guilty of doing what the person's pissed off about. Do you look at her and tell her to do better? Because you sure had no problem trying to tell 007 to do better and put him in his place. But do you tell her? Yes, they hate Bond. And when everything falls apart, they try to make every situation Nick's fault or a mean girl's fault or this and that. Please. Well, I don't understand how things got to the point they are, honestly. It's like the strangest YouTube phenomenon ever. Yes, like a human shield. Look, I love my friends. One of my favorite sayings is, you are either in my circle of trust, my triangle of doubt, or my rhombus of suspicion. If you're in the circle, I have your back to the best of my ability. That doesn't mean, though, that I'm going to be a mammoth. But the beautiful thing is none of my friends have ever asked me to do that. I heard a lot about, oh, well, you fight this person's battles and da 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 da. Mammoth. Manitoba. You totally fought Ernie's battles for 4 years. You did. That's why you hated me, remember? Because I used to be such a smart ass in his chat. Just wanted to point that out in case you forgot. Manitoba. Manitoba, if you would like to know why you are now called Manitoba, it is because my phone kept auto-correcting Mammoth to Manitoba. So we just switched that little N to an M, and Manitoba was born. It's a girl. There's a difference in fighting someone's battles, especially going into it blindly. Which is what you did, Mammoth. I think that maybe you and Kaylee might work it out. It seemed like you guys were on that path when your live ended yesterday. But I don't know, like you got to be willing to open your eyes. But I think that all of us, myself included, like I'm never excluding myself. When I get up here and I give all these opinions, I'm talking about me too. Because I'm guilty of some shit talking. I'm guilty of like stirring stuff up. I've been crappy to people. Never to some of the extremes you people have gone to. But, Kaylee said it best yesterday. We all have our way of moving throughout this community and as we navigate these situations. I myself, I'm just I will always be there to support my friends anytime they want to do the right thing or they need me, if they need to yell at someone, if they need to cry, if they need to slap someone. I might even let them slap me. But there again lies that personal responsibility, ma'am. If something happens to you, you know who you have to blame? You. I do not, Tiny T. I do not like hurting people. Fun fact, okay? I upset some people not long ago. And although I have been in that person's chat almost every time, if not for the whole time, for as long as I can be, but I haven't said a peep in the chat. I don't want to get in trouble. But that shit happens. But it was a situation where I was able to take a step back and realize where I fell short. And I apologized. I think it bothered me more than it bothered them, though, honestly. I'm very hard on myself. Very hard on myself. So, all you people who think that I'm just some big, mean, evil bitch and I'm doing all these things, you are wrong. And so, that ma'am who keeps going around accusing me of doing stuff, and that's her excuse for everything, is saying, well, if they stop sending people to my house for my kids, bitch, I haven't sent anyone anywhere, and you better be able to prove it. You better be able to prove it, is all I have to say. It will benefit you if you can prove that. Yes, BGE. I don't know why. Maybe someone can tell me. I just feel like everyone is always complaining about all this shit. We hear it all the time. I'm leaving YouTube. This is just too much. Like, Atil leaves every 2 weeks. ATIL, Toasty, whatever you want to call her, Boss Hog. But she's got a lot to say. This girl, she doesn't watch anything, according to her. But she gets all the emails. Everyone, she has a whole team of people who are helping her write her documentary. All the creators will have a chapter. It's nuts. She is a mess and she creates problems. Thank you, Nick, and thank you, Mark, for the super chat earlier. I forgot to tell you, I'm not used to this. Not used to it. There is a goal that I created. If you would like to contribute to our community awareness project, um, yeah, that's what we're calling it. So it will all go directly to that. I often wonder if people just took the time to just put their swords down for just 5 seconds, just 5 seconds. You can baby step it. Just, you don't have to be friends with anyone. You don't even have to talk to them. But maybe just try to not fan the flames of any existing issues. The the it just goes back to what I said earlier. If people would just let stuff go, okay, and stop collecting all these things. Because when you think about it, a lot of the things that people are fighting about or using as their evidence and proof is from years ago, right? It's from years ago. People have thought about it, they've made videos about it, people have been cussed out about it. Like, what more can you do? I am going to do my best to start judging people based on what I see from them in the present. Everyone wants to criticize me for being friends with Nick. Well, you know what? I'm sorry for you. I know a different Nick than you knew. If I needed something, if I was in some kind of trouble or I just had an issue, she would be one of the first people I called. And I wouldn't even think twice about it. And the thing is she and I don't talk like that. We don't have a lot of personal conversations outside of YouTube or the chat or Discord. But we're grown enough to have a mutual respect for each other. I haven't ever done shit to her. She's never done shit to me. But I'm not going to hate her because other people have a problem. And if you want to hate me for that, that's your loss. Because newsflash, I never did shit to any of you either. I just think that everyone would be a lot happier. Okay, forget about making everyone else happy. What would make you happy? What would make you and your YouTube experience better? Do you really like all this constant drama and chaos? Now, don't get me wrong, it's a sort of drama community. I mean, it's nothing like the drama communities of old, but it's pretty fucking dramatic over here. So there's always going to be a little bit of back and forth. But does it have to get to such extreme levels? Now, don't get me wrong. There's always going to be those groups of people, those hardcore trolls who will take it to those levels. That's their thing. That's why you don't do what you did yesterday, Mammoth. I understand wanting to stick up for yourself and wanting to kind of stand your ground or whatever. But do you even know what you're fighting for? Because I think that in any successful battle, that's the first thing. You need to know what you're fighting for. And you need to ask yourself, is it really something that you can get behind? Now, I always hear people saying, I stand on truth. I stand on this. No, not if 5 seconds later you say you're willing to lie for someone. So when you say stuff like that, how are we supposed to believe anything you said? Like, forget about other people fucking with you and ruining, your reputation or your integrity. You got to be responsible for that first. If you're out here talking about lying to people, like, just don't get yourself in a situation where you would have to lie about anything. I wouldn't want to put my friends in a situation where they had to lie for me. Because then when shit hits the fan, it's not just, my reputation that's shot, it's theirs too. But I also see a lot of people have selective questioning. Like, Nick can say that she took her child shopping and it's a fact. We see the stuff she bought, we see the receipt. But nobody wants to believe that. But she can put in a chat, oh, I just called the state police and told them you're a drug dealer. And everyone believes that. You don't want to believe the good stuff, but you want to believe all the bad stuff because then it gives you something to argue and fuss about. You people are a trip. I'm just as guilty though. I get in the middle of it. It is a problem sometimes. You get caught up in it. Gets to be a little time consuming. My life is full, with or without YouTube. It's not that deep. YouTube is going to be what you make of it. So for me, I'm going through that process of figuring out, how I can do better and be better. I don't ever expect my friends to lie to me or lie for me. I don't expect them to lie to me either, but I just think there's a lot of people. I always feel bad for the subs, the people in chat. Even though creators are no different than anybody else, we just have a channel. That's it. That's the only difference. We have an active channel that we talk on or show videos on. We're human, just like everyone else. I always feel bad for, let's see, what does the man that call them? Her supporters or her peepers. Because I feel a lot of times they get caught in the crossfire. But on the other hand, I don't feel that bad because you're grown. You don't have to get caught in the crossfire. And if you're there, it's because you want to be. It might take you a minute to realize, ooh, that's hot. I better not touch it. But then when you sit there and you willingly go through it and you willingly hate people because the majority thinks you should, well, then I don't have any sympathy. Like the whole Tiger Mean Girl meltdown, divorce, separation, whatever. I chose not to make it a big deal. I have no interest in going to war with any of them. It's not because I'm scared or this and that. I just don't have time for it. It's stupid. It's stupid. I felt like I should have been warned ahead of time if that was going to be happening. And I feel like he should have understood why we would be pissed off. There was nothing that she said up there that hasn't already been said. She has no shame. She doesn't think that she did anything wrong. That whole little group over there is scumbags. They're horrible. It's like the blind leading the blind over there. I don't want that anywhere near my life. And I understand that now she's banned or whatever. But the thing is, I don't like Mo either. She's just as messy. So if people like that are going to be hanging around, no, I don't have to be in the thick of it. I'm not interested in doing this whole field scout skip tracing thing. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with having random ass people that nobody knows paying a membership fee and then being taught how to seek people out and find out everything about them. Do you realize how dangerous that could be? So, as your friend, Ernie, I'm telling you, don't do that. You know as well as the rest of us that there's some weirdos on this platform. You don't have to prove yourself or prove your skills by putting innocent people in danger because you've taught some weirdo how to find them. That's not cool. That's the shit I don't agree with. And I'm not going to be a part of it. And if it means that I don't have a wrench or someone doesn't talk to me anymore, there's no hard feelings. It happened. You know, I am going to keep it moving because it's not that deep. I'm not out for blood. I'm not out to hurt anyone. I'm just going to talk my shit and make my snarky comments and call it a day. And if you don't like me because you don't like my friends, thank you. Because I don't need people like you in my life. Shallow ass people who had lost the plot. I only watched a little bit of that last live. Um, I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's a whole different atmosphere. over there now. But, I think the reason that I have been able to like pull myself in and not be so reactionary is because I got to a point, once YouTube broke me in, you have to realize that there is a actual human being, a real person underneath all these characters that you see on YouTube. I know everyone finds it very important to say, I'm the same way on YouTube as I am in my real life. And maybe some people are carbon copy exactly the same. I'm not. I'm really not. I don't, I don't know. I'm very quiet in like actual life, honestly. Yeah. I don't know, man. I'm just like gonna sit back, see what happens, enjoy the holidays, continue to work on myself. What people don't know is I have a lot going on in my life, a lot of good things, a lot of transitional things. And I am just like, I am not so close minded that I don't see the beauty in that. In case you haven't noticed, I'm kind of like just a big old hippie. I look at things and really try to see it for what it is and not just what it is on the surface. Because 9 times out of 10, if you don't look past the surface, you're going to get it wrong. Let's see, I'm trying to read some comments, but I am going to have to end. Um, Mini Me's fever finally went away, so she was able to go back to school right in time to finish her last midterm before Christmas break. BGE's going live. If someone wants to drop her link, I appreciate everyone for being here. I'm sure I left something out. I left my notes in the house and did not want to go in and get them. So I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to go live again, honestly. Next week. I doubt it'll be tomorrow. But I hope everyone has an amazing weekend and stay safe. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your friends. Stop worrying about all this silly shit. It's okay if you go to do a self evaluation and you realize that you are not the top shelf person that you thought you are. It's okay. It's all part of growing. I guarantee you, if you allow yourself room to grow, you will feel a lot better. Everyone, have an amazing evening. Thank you all for being here. Love you bunches. Even you mean ass bushwatchers. All right. Have a great night, everyone. Ta ta.